Another week of Premier League football done and dusted, but obviously at the time of recording, United haven't not played yet. But hey, they are not part of the title challenge, so I don't really care about them. But firstly, let's start with Man City. But before that, please, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. Please like this video, comment and share. But yeah, let's get straight to it. Man City versus Fulham, or Fulham versus Man City, because Man City played away. I kid you not. If Man City are to actually challenge Arsenal for the title, they're gonna have to shore up their defense. Because what exactly was going on? How can you be 5-1 up and be trying not to concede a fifth goal to a team you were beating 5-1? Bro, the game ended 5-4. And I kid you not, if it wasn't for the fact that Guardiola cleared the ball off the line, that game would have ended 5-5. There's no way Fulham should be scoring 3 goals or even 4 goals against you if you're up by 4 or 5. Doesn't matter if you're playing away. You cannot be a title challenger when you are actually playing like that. Pep needs to sort his defense. Because if Haaland does not score, God forbid Haaland gets injured, who is going to pick up that mantle for City? Yes, Phil Foden scored a brilliant goal. 2 goals, in fact. But it's looking like Haaland is scoring the majority of your goals. Like, props to Haaland as well. 100 goals. The fastest player to actually get to that 100-goal club. I think he did that in 101 games. It's crazy. I was like nearly 1 goal a game. Nah, that's a crazy stat. But listen, I'm looking at Man City's defense, and I think if they do not challenge, well, I don't think there will be anyway, but because you're still playing Nunes, even though O'Reilly is a good footballer in his own right, he's not a left back. You're going to play a midfield of Silva and Ryan is, you're literally going to get around, especially if you have Nico Gonzalez in there, who they brought in as a replacement for Rodri, but he's not up to that standard yet. So, hey, Man City, if you guys are going to challenge Arsenal and make the league interesting, you're going to have to sort out your defense. It doesn't matter if you have one of the best keepers in goal. But yeah, I'm going to give props to Fulham. But actually, no. What took them that long to get into the game, to actually believe they could actually beat Man City? Because Man City are not the same team. Anyways, moving on. Another game I want to have a look at, Liverpool versus Sunderland. I actually caught most of the second half because I was watching the Arsenal game. And then I tuned to the Chelsea one after that. But Liverpool, they go so lucky. Because, what's this guy's name? Isidore could have put in Sunderland up by 2-1 when they had a counter-attack from a corner. Tell me why he wanted to run up the keeper when the keeper has given you a space where to put the ball. He wanted to take the difficult finish, but you need to give props to Kaiser because he literally followed that play every single second. Went behind the keeper when Alisson got rounded, just to make sure that even if he was to try and shoot, he was there. If it wasn't for Chiesa, Liverpool would have lost this game 2-1. I did mention that Sunderland will be a tough game away, especially if they're playing at home. But I didn't know they were a tough team even playing away. Hey, and then people were making it seem like Arsenal going to the stadium and getting a point was a bad result. You guys clearly haven't played them yet. You play them, then you know. But yeah, Liverpool, I don't know what's going on there. I think Arne Slot is still struggling to find the right balance with this team, especially at the back and in the midfield, resulting to playing Szoboszlai on the right wing. Yes, he's trying to show up that right-hand side, making sure that they do not concede a lot of goals. And it's sort of working because they've conceded just 1 goal in 3 games. So I get it, but then you basically lose something. You lose something in the midfield, you know. Vert scored for Liverpool, but unfortunately it was ruled as an own goal. He actually played well yesterday, but Liverpool, I think there's more to it than just the football. And I think we all know like the tragedy that happened with Jota, but it's hard for me to actually look at them playing football and try and wrap my mind around it, the fact that they are the current champions and they are clearly not defending it. Their title like it. So yeah, I'm not surprised if the game ended 1-1. I mean, Sunderland would have actually won the game if Isidore actually took that chance. So it's back to the drawing board for Arne Slot. Next game I want to have a look at, Leeds versus Chelsea. Kidding not, if you look at my last review after that Arsenal and Chelsea game, obviously Arsenal at the bridge against Chelsea, I said I will not be surprised if Chelsea actually lost. Because the amount of energy they used against Arsenal, or the amount of energy they expanded, or the intensity they basically came at Arsenal in that game. Losing to Leeds, I'm not surprised because these are the games that they did not turn up to. Because if it comes to Barcelona, Arsenal, Liverpool, I'm banking on Chelsea like to turn up with that same intensity. But when it comes to Leeds, who are basically struggling with relegation, you're playing like you've never played together before. Granted, he made some changes to the back line with Tosin playing there, Badiashile playing, and Chabala as a right back. These are still Premier League players. And then from what you'll be hearing from the Chelsea fans, they are this marginally close to Arsenal in terms of quality. So that should not be an excuse, even though you had these players play, Gittins played, Stavio, who was basically taken off at halftime. You have some of these Chelsea fans making it seem like he's on the same level as one of the top wingers. Yeah, the guy is talented, but do not put that sort of pressure on him. He's 18. So if you're making these sort of analysis, I'm not sure what is based off whereby you think your team is marginally close to Arsenal, who actually lead. Arsenal, who've been challenging for the Premier League, let's say 3 seasons out of 4, because last season was definitely a challenge. Liverpool ran away with it. And I was not surprised they actually lost this game. I was not surprised because Chelsea are not that good. Chelsea are not that much of a good side, especially if you're not going to have your best players in your team. Even though Cole Palmer came on with Goodso coming on, obviously no Reece James, no Wesley Fofana. I understand that because you to rest them and save their bodies because they've been struggling with injuries for the past seasons or how many. So it makes sense. But no excuses if you're trying to be a title challenger in the Premier League. You cannot be losing these type of games away, especially 3-1 against a struggling Leeds side. Anyways, on a good note, Arsenal, that game was a slugfest. Arsenal versus Brentford at the Emirates. That game was a slugfest. Why? Because I was surprised as to the way Brentford came out of the blocks. I thought, okay, in the first 5 minutes, they'll try and put it, but they were pressing the whole game. In the first 10 minutes, I'm like, these people are still pressing. So they came not to sit back. They came to pressure Arsenal and to try and get something from that. Even though they made a few changes themselves, like to their lineup, Arsenal also did. But they came to play football. And it was a good game of football. A cagey affair, to be honest. And Arsenal were glad they actually went up 1-0 within that first 10 minutes. Because if it wasn't that case, that game, the Emirates would have been very nervous, including myself watching the game from home. I was nervous. But let's speak about Mikel Merino. How many recaps have I done that I've spoken about him? This guy is so intelligent, the way he plays that number, false 9, I should say, false 9 position. Even though I still think Gyökeres is our best striker. But Moreno, game in, game out, will give you an output. It's like when he gets into the box, he comes alive. Yes, you might think his like the build-up play when he drops in as an 8 is a bit lacking because sometimes he might take unnecessary sort of touches on the ball, which I want him to move the ball on, you know what I mean, quicker. He turns slow. But the guy got an eye for a pass because he got an assist in the game as well. But the guy got an eye for a goal. Like getting to the box, the movement, the timing. So you're going to have to give props to this guy because it's crazy how this guy keeps on doing this. Whoever that profiled him as a midfielder, I don't know, might have done a disservice to him. But like, I know people be saying he's a DM. He's never been a DM. The guy's an 8. As you can see, the way he crashes the box, he's an 8. Out goal-scoring midfielder. So I'm not sure why people thought he'd be a flipping DM. So Moreno was one of the shining sparks. Odegaard in the first half was very good on the ball. He kept us ticking. But I think he fell away a little bit in the second half, which I'm not surprised because he hasn't really played that much. Declan Rice was actually decent in the first half / second. I really wanted Arteta to sub him and bring on Norgard because I was like, this guy looks tired. And he came off probably with a bit of a knock. which is a bit annoying because I was calling for, yo, take him off. We got Nogard in there for a reason. You know what I mean? And then finally, the only reason he takes him off because he actually had a knock bringing on Gyökeres. You know what I mean? And obviously, Bukayo Saka came on and got his goal. You know, there's a few chances, there's a few times he could have literally set up Gyökeres for a tap in. But this guy really wanted his goal. And you know what? Here, if you're in front of goal and then you don't take a shot, you ain't going to score. All in all, I would give that performance of Arsenal a 6.5 out of 10, even though they actually got a win. It wasn't like a sort of overly good performance, but they got the job done. Like I've been saying every single week, one game at a time. Whatever is happening around us, cool. But you have to take your game one at a time. We cannot drop points. It is going to be a saying every single episode. We cannot drop points. But one thing Arsenal will have to look at is the injury record right now. With William Saliba on the bench, didn't play. Big Gabriel. Obviously, we know how long he's going to be out for. Now, Mosquera, even though it was a non-contact injury, he landed a bit awkwardly on his left knee. I mean, yeah, I believe it was on his left knee when he went out for a header. I'm hoping it's not a bad injury and it's just a simple knock whereby he just needs a few days to recover. I mean, fingers crossed, and hopefully Saliba is back on Saturday because we're going away. 12:30 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday morning away in Birmingham, playing against Aston Villa. It's going to be a tough game because even with Villa's game, I don't know how they came back 2-0 down to win 4-3. Brighton, what is going on in that game? They did 2-0 up in 20 minutes. But yeah, Villa is going to be a tough game. Last 3 games we played away against Villa. Last 5 games, as I say, the record is Arsenal won 2, drawn 1 and lost 2. I mean, 50-50. But I'm expecting Arsenal to go away and get the job done. If you want to win the title, this is the time for you to stake claim and extend the lead. Because right now it's 5 points. Man City, even though they're conceding silly goals, they're only 5 points behind. Only 5 points behind. And Man City play against Sunderland at home. Ooh, that's going to be a tough game. The only team that I'm looking at as a challenger right now is Man City. And if they drop points, even though we are playing early on, we cannot afford to lose or drop points against Aston Villa. I don't care if it's it cannot be a draw. 3 points. And that is exactly what I'm expecting. So, until then, we cannot drop points.
Take the yards!